Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Arsenal Preview podcast, my YouTube channel. Today we are going to do the match preview for a big game that is Manchester United versus Arsenal at Old Trafford. The whole rivalry once again reigniting, and joining me today are two Arsenal fans from India. It's Elroy. Hey Elroy, how are you doing today?
Hey Dushyant, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, ma'am. Thank you for coming on the podcast, and it's great having you here.
Yeah, my pleasure. Good to be here.
The other Arsenal fan is Denis, who's also from Bangalore, joining in. Hey, Denis, welcome to the channel.
Hi, Dushyant. Hi.
Yeah. So, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you guys actually for this game at Old Trafford? We'll start with Elroy. Give me your rating. How nervous are you for this match?
So for me, somehow there are two games which two teams when we are facing them, whether it's at home or away, I always am definitely going to be nervous. That is Tottenham and United. So especially Manchester United because it has always been kind of like a mental block for us somehow. Although we have not, we've done better over the last couple of years with them, but somehow it's United has been a team where even if they are playing with the worst of squads and we've gone to face them as favorites, we've been on the receiving end. So for me, this is one match which I'm always nervous about and can never take it lightly.
So, what's your rating on the nervous scale? Like 8 or a 7 or a 6? I guess
Uh,
it might be close to 10 for you right now because you said you are
no,
always
I think
nervous.
for me it would be around 7 or 8. Like this game is one game which I'm never ever comfortable with.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you, Dennis? Are you also nervous about going to the Old Trafford? As Elroy here said that our record hasn't been that great at the Old Trafford ground. But what do you make of the game, and how nervous are you for the game actually?
Yeah, I'm also nervous around like 8, 9, because, you know, like we won at Old Trafford last year, but that was without the fans. But this
Hmm.
year we'll be going with the fans. But another positive for us will be that United have I don't know, much worse place right now.
Hmm.
They have this interim coach and all
Hmm.
that. But it'll be important. But I don't know. Like United, even if they're bad, they always put up a showing. Like last year, we've seen time and time again. They've been hopeless, but they've won games. So I
Hmm.
just don't want that to happen. And
Hmm.
I'll be curious to see if Arteta chooses Tavares or Tierney.
Hmm. It's interesting that you said that they have a new interim coach right now. It is Michael Carrick, and with it on the duck side, they have also gotten the new coach that will be there for 6 months. So it's like double interim coach. I don't know what's going on. Alright, what's your take on Ralf Rangnick as an interim coach, and then after that he'll transition into a technical director kind of a thing for the or a consultancy role in the next 2 years. What do you make of that appointment from Manchester United's perspective?
So I think first of all, Ragnik is a good coach. I mean, it's pretty well how documented out there that as a coach, he's been someone who has been really good throughout his career, and for most of his career at least. And you know that a lot of modern day German coaches have been inspired by him, and you have the likes of Thomas Tuchel, you have Klopp, and if I'm not wrong, even Nagelsmann. And he's one of those coaches. He's like a German version of, you can say, how Bielsa has such a massive
Mm,
influence on so many coaches. Ragnick has a similar influence amongst the German coaches.
mm,
So of like he went to Lokomotiv Moscow, and I have not heard a lot about his time there, but prior to that, he's someone who has always been known as a good coach and as a director, kind of, in terms of football operations. He's supposed to be one of the smart guys, smart recruitment, smart running of the club.
mm,
So yeah, so overall on paper he definitely seems like a very very good choice, but
mm,
then there are a lot of factors here when it comes to United which like he's a type of a coach who usually goes for these smart buys, the unknown players. At United, there could be a pressure of signing certain players just for the marketing value, and how much of a say will he have in terms of once he's into his consulting role, and there could be a clash there. But yeah, that consulting role is the one which is a bit something which I would be fearful of, because if he's given proper control, he's the kind of a guy, man who tends to build the club with his blueprint. So how much of control will be given to him and how he goes about with it, that remains to be seen now.
That is interesting that you said about his recruitment and scouting. I really agree with that. Dennis, I'd like to bring you in this conversation as well. As a coach, I don't think that Ralf Rangnick has a good record as a coach or a football coach, but rather a great record in helping build clubs like, for example, RB Leipzig or even Hoffenheim in Germany. So, do you think that his role as a technical director in a consultancy role is much more fearful rather than just being a normal coach for the 6 months?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, I'm not worried about, I'm not worried about Ragnick, the interim coach. I'm worried about, the technical director. If I'm not mistaken, he was in charge of Schalke when they went to the semifinals of the Champions League, and I happened to see that season, like all of Schalke's games, and you know they were very good. So it's like Elroy said, the smart buy is, his talent ID is very good, and he reads the market well. So I like in the long run, I'll be scared of United this season. I don't think he's a bad coach, but I think he'll have a similar impact as Ali in the first 6 months.
That's interesting, but as you said, like I'm not saying he's like really bad coach as some, for example, Steve Bruce or Sam Allardyce, but his record isn't like of a top-notch coach. Like for example, you could say like an Antonio Conte, someone who wins you trophies. Maybe they didn't wanted him, or they just wanted to wait for someone like a Ten Hag. So, do you think that they are waiting for a better coach out there to be available in the summer?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. Because, yeah, as far as I know, he's going to stay till the end of the season and then going to take up a technical role. So, but if they get a coach, it will be a coach who Ralph also wants. So it's going to be like he's going to work with the coach for the team, but not like, he's not going to be involved in the tactics, but, he's going to get the players, the kind of players, if they get like Ten Hag or somebody like that in 2-3 years, you can see Man United will have an identity. That's what I don't want to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Because till now, when Ole was at the wheel, it was just hoping to recruit the best players available and hoping to get into the top four. But after the start of the season, that's looked quite unlikely. And hopefully, this season they don't go into that top four spot. And Elroy, they have been recently been linked with Mauricio Pochettino, who's right now at PSG. But so, do you think that that relationship will work between Pochettino and Ragnick as a head coach and technical director? Because as Dennis here said, he wants.
I think from what I gather or read, I think Pochettino, his appointment as the main United manager at the end of the season could be in doubt now, because is he the kind of manager that Ragnick would work with rather, and would, because Ragnick would so from what I gather, what I've read is that Ragnick tends to hire a lot of these German managers, people who he has may have been former players of his or things like that, I mean, obviously that is not, he might not get that kind of liberty at United, because United would want a proper footballing name maybe, or a bigger personality. But again, if you get a bigger personality coach, you're going to have quite a lot of what do you call that? Clashes between personalities. So you
Hmm.
have one way. So I think it will all boil down to how much of power Ragnick has. Because if he's just going to be a consultant to provide his inputs, and he won't have like a major say in things that happen, then maybe you would end up getting someone like Pochettino. But if he's someone who will have like who would want to have the main say, which he is known to have had at a lot of these clubs, then I don't think someone like Pochettino might come. I wouldn't be surprised if United go for a more proper head coach, like someone like Ten Hag, or maybe an unknown upcoming manager rather than a proven manager.
Interim manager Michael Carrick, who has had two games which he hasn't lost. It's like Michael Carrick versus Mikel Arteta right now at Old Trafford. Do you think with Ragnick coming in right now, but he won't be the in charge of the game? We have got the news. So do you think that it can confuse the players with like Ragnick not in charge of the game, but still he's there around, and Michael Carrick is also there. So maybe the tactics could be different, or it could be quite weird for the players.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean that is so. Like the Athletic reported saying that Ragnick had no influence in the Chelsea game, but
Mm.
you got to see one thing that would Carrick be someone who would just go ahead and drop Cristiano Ronaldo? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that seems to be quite a very bold call, which for an interim manager to make that call, it seems a bit odd.
Yeah, because
So
I don't honestly agree with the Athletic article saying that Ragnick didn't have any influence on the Chelsea game, because he's like as Dennis said and you also said that he has had a high pressing game.
Yeah, yeah, I think dropping Ronaldo was something that Ragnick would do, and probably, but I don't know. I think Ronaldo may start against us,
Hmm.
but you'll see more of what more of Gegen pressing when United
Hmm.
play against us,
Hmm.
because he would probably have spoken to the players. I'm just
Hmm.
assuming, but yeah. And
Hmm.
as for the tactics confusing the players, I don't think so, because when you see Ollie's tenure at Man United, there was no tactics.
Hmm.
So it's like it's easier to just tell them to play a certain way now,
Hmm.
because whenever I had seen United when
Hmm.
Ali was there, I could not see any tactics.
Hmm. No
So it's
tactics,
probably
just
easier.
vibes, huh?
Yeah.
But Elroy, I'd like to bring you into this conversation once again. I think we lost you for a bit there.
uh, yeah, I just dropped off for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you could let us know. Do you think that Ronaldo will start against his old rivals once again, like Arsenal, because he usually scores against us when he played for Manchester United? So, do you think he will start, or do you think that he will be still on the bench?
I think he will start.
Mm.
Uh, Purely because, see, the thing is, Chelsea are obvious. I mean, United probably went into that team knowing how Chelsea are, how
Mm.
compact they are at the back, and how, knowing that the way they set up, they would have probably gone without Ronaldo, because three at the back and all. They knew that even if they go with Ronaldo, there's a higher chance that maybe they would neutralize him. Here at Arsenal, like even though we have been defensively better this season, they
Mm.
know that Arsenal's defense, sometimes if you do have a go at it, you can take advantage of it like that way. So, and Ronaldo is known to have scored a lot of goals against us. So I think he will definitely start against us tomorrow.
Mm. Arteta's game plan. What do you think that should be Arteta's game plan going against Manchester United right now? Because they can be a very weird team right now, because they are under a certain transition. Right now, they played a defensive type of a game against like Chelsea, because they are one of the best teams in the league. So, what kind of a game plan do you think Arsenal will go? Because we are away from home as well.
I I agree. They'll probably be defensive, which is
Hmm.
why I think I think Martinelli has to start.
Hmm.
Which position, that is secondary, but
Hmm.
if I was Arteta, I would start all the younger players because they're except Saka because he may be out.
Hmm.
But For me, it's like starting youngsters. And I think considering the United defense is weak, if they had Varane, maybe you could change the plan. But there's
Hmm.
no Varane. And if
I'm,
Maguire comes in, I'm just so much more optimistic. I think we should just start attacking like how we started the Leicester game. We
hmm,
should continue that, not just for 25 minutes, like,
hmm,
half an hour,
hmm.
1 hour, like that, even after the break.
As Dennis here said, Elroy, they don't have Varane, they don't have Maguire, they don't have Shaw as well, Luke Shaw. So right now they are playing like I think his name is Alex Tellis. Will play I think at the left back. Then they will have I think the partnership of Lindelof and Eric Bailey. So and with Aaron Van Bissaka at the back. So this will be the defensive line. So do you think that Arsenal should be going defensive, or Arteta should be going with a defensive game plan for this game, or what do you think his priority should be for this Manchester United game? Because this is a quite a crucial big match for Arsenal.
Yeah, so I don't think he will go defensive.
Mm,
Not against United at least. He'll mostly go to play with his standard, 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2 kind of a formation. But
mm,
he won't go defensive. He'll definitely, because see, the United defense at the end of the day, they are not the most stable defense in the league for sure. So you
mm,
very well know that you can have a go at it. But then at the
mm,
same time, our problem is we don't have the best of attack either, where we
mm,
can just even take advantage of it. So my overall take is that this game will be a very calculated game where both the
mm,
teams are going to wait for the other team to kind of make a mistake and then to pounce on it. I don't see it being like an end-to-end game for sure, because the United versus Arsenal matches over the last couple of years have not been like that. So
mm.
I feel it will be more like a chess game where it will be
Yeah.
everything will be tactically, set up in such a way that you don't make a mistake and just pounce on the opposition mistake. I think both the teams are going to be set up in a similar way, but at the same time, none of them are going to go all out defensive and just like park the bus. That is not going to happen in between any of these two teams, because both the teams have it's like, if you put it on paper, both the teams can get a 1-1 on a nil-nil draw, but at the
Mm.
same time, both the teams are equally capable of uh, you know
Producing
take
that magic
producing
moment.
that magic moment and like
Mm.
getting the result there.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I want to talk about this. Dennis also said earlier as well. The last season that we won at Old Trafford, 1-0 win, that was, I think, Aubameyang goal with Willian assist, who is now in Brazil, but it was without fans. So, do you think that there will be an Old Trafford effect that will have a effect in this match as well, the fans coming back into the sands, and that will have a certain effect to this match, Elroy?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Because Old Trafford is, I know a lot of teams have picked up points at Old Trafford this season,
Hmm.
but as I mentioned previously, Old Trafford is a ground that we have always struggled. We won
Yeah,
last year, but prior to that, the previous victory was in 2006.
yeah.
So it's difficult. Somehow there is a weird mental block that our team has at this ground, but. Maybe, I mean, see, my issue is that we ourselves right now are not a team which is scoring goals in a free flowing manner. So for me, it is definitely going to be difficult.
I have a Dennis. I have a good, interesting stat. Mikel Arteta's career so far at Arsenal, whenever he's played against a team that ends their name with United, he has a good record against those teams. So, do you think that will continue in this game, or do you think that is just pure luck right now?
I mean, it's hard to say because he has played, I think, Sheffield United,
Hmm.
Newcastle United, and
Hmm.
Manchester United.
In 19 games against teams called United, Mikel Arteta's Arsenal have won 15 and
15.
lost none. So that is interesting. So let's do the predicted lineup. We'll start with Elroy. What's your predicted formation and lineup for this match? for Arsenal?
I think he might go with the same lineup as what he went with against Newcastle. Now, the
Hmm.
only doubt is obviously Saka. So, if Saka
Yeah.
is not fit, then I
Hmm.
am going to just go out and say that he'll probably replace Saka with Martinelli,
Hmm.
because at this point of time, I don't think he will go with Pepe. So,
Hmm.
yeah, and much that I would like Tierney to be in the starting lineup, I have a feeling that he will stick with Nuno for this game.
Hmm. Okay, and what about you, Dennis? Are you going with Elroy here as well, or do you got have you got some surprises for us?
Yeah, I like if I'm gonna like if Saka is out, I
Hmm.
would play both Tierney and Tavares a back
Okay.
five
Hmm.
because United, they have their defense is poor. I mean, the only
Hmm.
reason they haven't lost many more matches is because of De Gea.
Hmm.
But their attack, they have Sancho. I
Hmm.
don't know if Rashford is fit, but they have Rashford, Ronaldo,
Hmm.
Bruno. So I mean, I would also go with a back five,
Hmm.
5-2-3 or a 5-3-2,
Hmm.
something like that.
Okay. Do you think there is any inclination, as you said, that Tavares and Turney they can start, and maybe he plays Smith Rowe not on the wings but in the middle, and Tavares plays as a left winger. So the formation says the same, like 4-2-3-1 that we are usually been playing with, but Tavares shifts on the left wing and Tierney comes at the left back. Do you think that he could do something like that? Even because we have hardly seen Arteta going three at the back.
Like I said, if Saka is injured and if he
Hmm.
has to go with the 4-3-2-1, a
Hmm.
back four replacing Tavares with Tierney, and I
Hmm.
would put Tavares on the wing
Hmm.
because, like, I mean, except his shooting,
Hmm.
his
Hmm.
physicality is so great.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember the last time an Arsenal player had like that kind of a physicality.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe what's his name? Uh, Bentner,
Bet no.
maybe. Yeah, but and also I wouldn't play Aubameyang. I would
Hmm.
play Martinelli.
Hmm.
I mean, like Aubameyang has done a lot for us. I'm not saying he hasn't, but we
Hmm.
can't play him into form. He's a 32-year-old striker,
Hmm.
so I wouldn't start him this game. Maybe against Everton because
Hmm.
they're in a hopeless run of form. That would
Hmm.
be better for him.
Elroy, do you agree with Dennis, my friend here? We should not be playing Aubameyang for this game because it's a crucial big game. He hasn't been in that fine form. I agree with Dennis, but this is a big call for Arteta, and Arsenal need this win.
Yeah, see, actually, for me, it is like this is not a game that Arteta would probably experiment by dropping Aubameyang. I mean, I know that he has not been in good form, and he's everybody would be happy. Nobody would be upset if he's dropped at this point of time. But at the end of the day, our team is overall just struggling to score goals. And in a
Hmm.
big match, if one person can step up to score a goal, it
It is
would
Aubameyang.
be it is Aubameyang. So for me,
Hmm.
I don't. I mean, maybe from the Everton game onwards, if he continues to play badly or doesn't do well here, he could be dropped. But I don't think he would be dropped for this match.
Hmm. I think even dropping your captain from a team, it can be quite destabilizing. Dennis, you would remember when Aubameyang got late for that Tottenham match, and we had to drop Aubameyang from the squad together, and that was a whole controversy. Prediction scores and the scorers.
Yeah. So I think my prediction would be a 1-1. And I
Hmm.
think it would be a Ronaldo goal first, and probably Aubameyang equalizing. That would be my take on this.
Do you think there is any chance that Arsenal can win, but at Old Trafford?
Oh yes, we definitely could, but
You
it
are going
somehow
for a
feels
draw.
I'm going for a draw. There is a good chance that we could do it, but it just feels that So there is this thing with me that whenever we are too confident or people are very confident, with especially with the other team being bad, the surprise that can come up is would not be good. So it's like just keeping my expectations to a more realistic one right now. We can win and we could definitely get 3 points, but it just feels like when all the things are pointing in our favor right now, based on whatever, maybe injury, suspension, or whatever, like, form, it's like we don't tend to capitalize on that. It's like, you remember the time when we played United against Arsenal versus United, where United played almost like an under 21 team.
Yeah,
We
and we
had
lost.
beaten Leicester and we won, and we lost 3-2. So it's just that thing plays a lot in my head always
Yeah,
when it comes to Arsenal versus United.
I have taken a huge chunk of time from you, but thank you for coming on the podcast, Elroy. Please, could you tell us where everyone can find you on social media and all that?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter and I go by the handle of Figgysteen. That is Figgysteen. And yeah,
Yeah,
I'm very active on Twitter. So yeah, always
yeah.
happy to interact. Yeah.
And Dennis, we'll end the podcast with your prediction and your predicted scorers for this match.
I actually think it's going to be a nil-nil draw.
Oh, again, you also think it's an nil draw. What is with
Yeah.
everyone thinking that it's going to be a draw and us not scoring goals? I think my prediction for this Manchester United and versus Arsenal game, I think Arsenal will win 2-1. And for me, the scorers will be Aubameyang and Emil Smith Rowe. Let's see and hope for the best. And as you
Yeah.
know, it's one of the most crucial and important matches for Arsenal, with the top four on the line, and with the more important games against this crucial run up. The December
Yeah.
one is
Yeah.
crucial for us, very crucial for us. So we
If
have
you
to win.
include if you
Mhm.
include the United game, I think we have totally 8 games of football in December, which
Yeah,
is
lot of
yeah.
games.
We have to, if we from these, I think one is a League Cup game, but so 7 games. If we get 17 points from these games,
Hmm.
that will be very good.
Thank you, Dennis, for coming on the
No
podcast.
problem.
Could you tell the people where they can find you on the social media?
Yeah, on both on Twitter and Instagram, I go by the username of Biryani Mafia DB.
Yeah, he eats lots of biryani in his free time. But thank you for coming along, and hopefully
Thank
an
you, this.
Arsenal
Thank you for
win.
having me, Dushyant.
Yeah, hopefully an Arsenal win to at Old Trafford this season as well.
Oh yeah,
So
that would make my week.
yeah, so that's it for Manchester United versus Arsenal preview. If you guys like today's video, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to comment down below on what's your prediction for this match, Manchester United versus Arsenal, and your predicted scorers for this match as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video, in the next maybe post match reaction kind of a video where we'll talk about what happened in the match. Peace.